finished with 235 yards. He had 5 rushing attempts for 1 yard, finished with like about 7 fantasy points. He had a pretty solid matchup on paper against Indianapolis, but if you're looking at his performances, he hasn't really done anything that's been like to what he was being drafted as since week 12. So he's had back-to-back. Last week, he was quarterback number 30. The week before against Tennessee, he was quarterback 25. So going against the Rams this week, how are you feeling? I know we both still had him in the top 10, but I don't know if that was just out of like necessity. He's like the ECR rankings on Fantasy Pros. They have him at 6. The much better rankings from around the 412 Fantasy Football. We had him at 8. But yeah, I'm. What do you think about him?
Hey, I bet you we're going to be closer to where he finishes. Yeah, I mean, name and potential are going to obviously carry him. Plus, there actually is a lot of the top quarterbacks do have tougher matchups this week. When I was looking at it, so but yeah, Justin Herbert, I think he's just playing better real life football than fantasy football. Like he has 1 or none touchdowns in 4 straight weeks at this point.
Do you think that's because of the do you think that's because of the rib injury? Like they don't want him holding the ball, like because it's like I thought that like it's been long enough that would be healed, but
yeah, it's a lot of dink and dunk, which is kind of wild because you have a field stretcher and Mike Williams and like the technician and Keenan Allen, but they're really not utilizing that stretching down the field of Mike Williams to open up anything. So I don't know. I mean, maybe that he is a little bit limited physically, and that's why the offense has looked the way that it has. I mean, they won that game. They're in the playoffs and everything like that. But Justin Herbert, from a fantasy standpoint, just hasn't provided that value. In the Rams, they've only given up 2 passing touchdowns over the last 3 weeks total. So
13.9 points in the last 3 weeks. So it's tough out there.
So I'm gonna say, I know I still ranked him relatively high. I think he snaps out of it a little bit. Like, I think he throws multiple touchdowns this week. I think he has like a borderline top 10 finish. So I guess I will. What am I doing on this then? If I think he kind of breaks that streak,
I would say swipe right on it. You're willing to give it another chance at love. I realized that I never actually uploaded the swipe right for him, so I'm trying to do that now. There it is. Tinder glitched a little bit there. For me, I think it's tricky because like if we're thinking about like options that may be on the waiver wire, maybe somebody like Mike White, maybe I don't think Jared Goff is going to be on the waivers, but I really like his matchup this week. I think for me, like it is frustrating to see those kind of flop performances in the playoffs, and they could have a lot of negative impacts. But yeah, I'm still going to ride with him. I'm going to swipe right as well. Like you said, it's not like he's playing bad football. It's just it's not translating into fantasy points. I think that you can get cute and overthink it. I did that last week playing Davis Mills over Jared Goff because of matchups. And I lost by 4 points in a dynasty league that I probably should have won. But such is life, and you can get too cute with it. And I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, there's a lot of luck involved in winning fantasy. If you're in the championship, you got to ride your dogs out to the finish and hope that, he hasn't had the numbers in the last couple of weeks, but he's one of those guys that can turn it on any given Sunday.
Yeah, and I do want to say, obviously the Rams defense, they've held quarterbacks back a little bit, but 2 of those 3 games, Raiders and Broncos. So Packers sandwich in between.
Good deal. All right, so mixed bag on